guys, Patty here, and welcome back to another episode in my channel. And let's talk about the pangolins being the most likely intermediate host. Let us start with our word bank. So I prepared 4 words. The first word will be outbreak. In epidemiology, an outbreak is a sudden increase in the occurrences of a disease in a particular time and place. It may affect a small and localized group or impact upon thousands of people across an entire continent. 4 linked cases of a rare infectious disease may be sufficient to constitute an outbreak. Word number 2 will be intermediate host. So, it's an organism that supports the immature or non-reproductive forms of a parasite. Word number 3 is transmission. The action or process of transmitting something or the state of being transmitted. And the last word will be codon. It is a specific sequence of 3 consecutive nucleotides that is part of the genetic code. And that specific or particular amino acid in a protein or starts or stops in protein synthesis. So this is important to our episode for today as we begin to know what really does the pangolin's role in this pandemic. So we know that SARS-CoV-2 is zoonotic, which means that the virus originated from animals, then jumped to humans. It is a critical challenge to determine which animal transmitted the virus to humans. So, based on the research of a team of bioinformaticians from University of Michigan, says that they believe that pangolins, as opposed to snakes, may have been served as a host that transmitted the coronavirus to people and caused the ongoing pandemic. So, scientists suspected that the bat coronavirus infected another animal, or so-called the intermediate host, which subsequently transmitted the virus to humans. To identify the intermediate host of SARS-CoV-2 or COVID-19 is therefore a mystery that many researchers hope to solve, as knowing the intermediate host is very helpful for prevention of further spread of the pandemic. There was an early study claimed that snakes such as the Chinese krait and the Chinese cobra were likely to be the intermediate host for the SARS-CoV-2. This conclusion quickly drove skepticism, partly because there are no previous evidence that coronaviruses jump from a cold-blooded mammal or animal, such as the snakes, to the human beings. So snakes make unlikely the intermediate host. The early claim that snakes transmitted the SARS-CoV-2 was based on analysis of the virus's genetic sequence, or rather the codon in the genetic sequence. So, it says here that the researchers compared the codon usage in the SARS-CoV-2 virus against that of the cells in the 8 animals at the Wuhan seafood market, where the believed origin that the virus came from. Then that study found that the snakes share most of the similar codon usage pattern to the SARS-CoV-2, thereby declaring that snakes were most likely the intermediate host. However, their central hypothesis that the coronavirus and their animal hosts share similar codon usage was never verified. So the team from the University of Michigan scrutinized this hypothesis and performed a more systematic analysis that was published in a recent follow-up study. So, it also says here that they found out that the codon usage of a coronavirus is not determined by its host. Rather, this shows that it is not possible to use only codon usage in animals' cells to infer the host of coronaviruses. This suggests that the early claim of snake-mort transmission of the SARS-CoV-2 is likely to be correct. So, this discovered the pangolin was likely to be the missing link. Their follow-up study found that the genetic sequence of a coronavirus was discovered from a lung samples of a Malayan pangolin, and it is highly similar to the SARS-CoV-2. So these shared virus, these two viruses shared 91% of their genetic sequence. I've mentioned this at the first episode that the pangolins is more likely to be the intermediate host. This study accepts or rather backed up my other episode. And it also says here that for a while here it also says here in this study that the virus, there's a particularly strong similarity between the spike proteins of these two viruses. The spike protein, which is the RBD or the receptor binding domain that I mentioned at the first episode about a grappling hook that attach the virus to the host cells. And it's also they also said that the bat coronavirus was is most likely the ancestor of the SARS-CoV-2. But several research groups have found further experimental evidence of pangolins being infected by coronavirus is highly similar to the SARS-CoV-2. So this study says that they concluded that other potential intermediate hosts should be still considered. And a coronavirus can use more than one kind of animal to infect humans. Like for example, the 2003 SARS-CoV that is transmitted from palm civets. And similarly, cats and ferrets can also be infected by SARS-CoV-2. However, it is still unknown whether humans can get infected by coronaviruses residing within these animals. The pangolin, by the way, is also known as a scaly anteater. It is a mammal with scales and is found in Asia and in Africa. So this sums up the episode for today. I'll put all the links in the description box, and I know you're surprised this is the second video for this week, but I might be busy in the next following week, so I have many free time here now, so I'd rather post another video. And this is more likely a continuation about the episode 1 that I previously posted about the pangolins. Subscribe and click the notifications bell for more updates in my channel, and I hope to see you all soon. Be safe, guys!